Oh, what a beautiful shot. I love seeing that each morning. That just reminds you how great our community is, how great our environment is. But we've all heard about going green, but does that really mean going green, and what's we make it a fashionable? Jade Storm is here to let us know. I didn't say that very well there because I got nervous. I want to make sure I just say this first. Professor Krause is with us. So the whole time in Calling Doctors, it's Professor Krause. And these two are very important people right now when it comes to our environment and when it comes to our clothing. And Jade, this is really neat. I know I met you, I forgot where we were talking just briefly, and you were telling about this clothing line and how important it is for us to be healthy with our clothes. And so you started Jade Storm Clothing. What is this clothing line?
Oh, okay. It is a 100% organic, plant-based clothing brand, clothing line for men and women. What I'm wearing is organic cotton infused with herbs. This red is called Madder, and then the skirt is organic hemp infused with charcoal, like what is being placed inside the face mask now to help people breathe. So we met at the Phoenix Fashion Week.
That's it.
And I started my brand several years back, but became a patent holder in 2017, and now have textile mills making my materials, which we call now slow fashion.
Yeah.
Basically,
you're looking good, and it's very important here, and that is where Professor Krause comes in, because we're talking about being healthy, of course, working out, what we're eating, but we never thought about what we're wearing, have we?
That's correct. And I've been fortunate because I've been consulting for a number of companies, and most of it is similar to Jade, where there's the entrepreneur has this idea. And the real problem is we're poisoning our air, our water, our earth, but we never think about our clothes. And as Jade has educated me, you're poisoning your skin with clothes. And I was actually with a doctor up in Sacramento who's a skin expert, and he was working on skin patches. And he actually said he did tests where he had an IV in one arm and a patch on the other, and the skin was absorbing more of, it was a CBD patch.
Wow.
More in the patch than the IV. And so when I latched on with Jade, I said, here's the missing link to, we're addressing hopefully water, earth, and air, but we're not thinking about clothing. That's on us all the time.
Yeah, and you have on the mask right now, and Jade has one too. We're social distancing here, but you wanted to have the mask on just to show about, of course, we're putting masks on every day, and those might not be healthy for us in a way, am I right?
Well, correct. Well, and in this case, you're breathing in herbs, and your breath actually heats it up a little bit, and so it's therapeutic as you breathe.
Yeah.
And there's nothing out there like that, period.
Right. And I like Jade, you're putting yours on.
Yes.
And what it is, you have it off at times, and then you put it on because you have asthma, and you were telling me the story about this, that you were wearing a mask way before we were supposed to wear masks.
Correct.
And that's because this helps you?
Yes. It helps because it is infused with the plant called Shibboleth on top of the organic cotton, and there's no chemicals. So when you work with textiles, you actually, and you're infusing chemicals in it, you're actually changing the DNA of the fibers. But with it being natural, I'm experiencing the whole Shibboleth plant, which helps reduce inflammation in the body, treats respiratory diseases, and it also helps relieve my symptoms of asthma. So I'll sleep in it, I'll put it on, and if I feel like I'm having breathing difficulties, I don't need a filter. I just make sure that I have my mask on, covering my nose, my mouth. Sometimes it'll get in my mouth, which is okay because you can taste it.
Right.
People eat Shibboleth. They used to eat it 5,000 years ago.
Wow.
And this is in the Indian healing. I'm part Indian, so this is part of the Indian healing nature.
Right.
So I can breathe freely. I mean, and it just helps. Within 30 minutes, it becomes a very therapeutic remedy for me.
Yeah, and we're looking at the colors here, and this is very important. And again, I'm a fashion guy. I like my clothes and stuff like that, but there's dyes that go in this and stuff, and I like that you said, you know what, we're working with these textiles, people to make sure we're getting the dyes out, because again, if we're going to be moving forward on fighting not just this pandemic, anything we do, it comes in from what we put on and do stuff, so which is really great. I like this. I know, Professor Krause, you have a great way that people can find out more about what you're doing, don't you? You have a website that we can...
Sure.
And the website is?
So some of the projects I'm working on is sustainable housing, where you don't use wood, you don't use insulation or gypsum. It's steel studs, foam insulation, and the coatings are so strong you can't break it with a sledgehammer. So it's hurricane proof, been tested down in Miami.
Wow.
It's flood proof. If you flood in a hurricane, the instructions are spray, hose it off, and you're good to go. There's no mold, there's no mildew. Those are the type of projects that I take on.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I know we have all the information on aztv.com for Jade's Fashion and, of course, Professor Krause, or Dr. I'll just go Doctor now. Professor Krause. So thank you guys for coming in.
You're welcome.
So this is
Thank you.
great.